yes. Just a second. Let it start record. Okay, sir. Okay. Uh, Good morning, all. I welcome you to this session. Today we have with us Dr. Avinash Kumar. Sir is an assistant professor of Department of Food Process Engineering, Sam Higginbottom University of Agriculture, Technology and Sciences, Prayagraj, Uttar Pradesh. Today the topic of deliberation is government schemes for setting food processing units in different regions. Sir, you are audible as well as visible, and your presentation is also visible. You may start. Please start, sir.
Thank you so much. First of all, I thank you to the organizers from Kashmir and Madhya Pradesh to invite me for this very lecture for establishing and setting up of the food processing industries in different regions of India. So just we have our ministry, the Ministry of Food Processing Industries, which is catering the need of the industries. And one scheme another scheme we have from the Ministry of MSME, that is being implemented by Khadi and Village Industries Commission. So, but there is only one scheme from there regarding this sector, and here we have 6 schemes for implementation of the food, establishing of the food processing units. So all the schemes have been already merged into the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana. And in this, we have to see the Mega Food Park scheme, integrated cold chain scheme, creation expansion of food processing and preservation capacities, infrastructure for agro processing clusters, that is regarding the development of infrastructure for agro processing clusters, then creation of backward and forward linkages, and the operation greens. We will take one by one each salient features of each scheme, and in the last, the newly created scheme, but it is not fully operational, that is PM formalization of micro enterprises, and then we will move to the KVIC. On this way, we will move for this lecture. So just this is another scheme of the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, that is the Prime Minister Employment Generation Program. Under this program, small food processing units costing up to 25 lakhs may be set up. We will discuss in detail later. And this is implemented by the Central Khadi and Village Industries Commission as well as by the Khadi and Village Industries Board. First, we are coming to the big scheme, that is the Mega Food Park. As we know, Mega Food Park is based on the cluster approach and envisages creation of state-of-art support infrastructure in a well-defined agri-horticultural zone. More than 200 mega food parks have been sanctioned, but the work is going on in only 37, and from the 37, only 20 are in operation. As we know, the mega food park means there are almost 25-30 units for manufacturing different food products, and they have been established in the different agricultural and horticultural zone. Sir, this list we can see which are fully operational. These mega food parks in the different regions in India are fully operations. The Andhra Pradesh is ahead with the 2 mega food parks, Srini Mega Food Parks in Chittoor, Andhra Pradesh, and Godavari Mega Aqua Park in the West Godavari district of Andhra Pradesh, and the one in Assam, that is Northeast Mega Food Park in Nalbari, Assam. Then in the Gujarat, in the Surat, Gujarat Agro Mega Food Park in Surat, Gujarat, Krimika Mega Food Park in Una, Himachal Pradesh, Integrated Mega Food Park in the Tumkur, Karnataka. These are fully operational. They are working, and they not in the full capacity, but almost 5, 10, 15 units are working there. Then in the Palakkad, Kerala, Kerala Industrial Infrastructure Development Corporation has developed a mega food park. In the Madhya Pradesh, Indus Mega Food Park in Khargone, and in the another place of Madhya Pradesh, in Devas district, Avanti Mega Food Park in Madhya Pradesh, Paitan Mega Food Park in Maharashtra, Aurangabad, Maharashtra, and another place in Maharashtra, that is the Satara Mega Food Park in Satara, Maharashtra. In Mizoram too, we have a mega food park, that is the Zoram Mega Food Park. In the state of Odisha, we have MITS Mega Food Park in Raigad. In Fazilka, Punjab, we have International Mega Food Park. In the Ajmer, Rajasthan, it is Green Tech Mega Food Park. In the Nizamabad, Telangana, it's a Smart Mega Food Park. In the West Tripura districts of Tripura, this is the Tripura Mega Food Park. In the Uttarakhand, Haridwar, in the Haridwar district of Uttarakhand, the Patanjali, Baba Ramdev's Patanjali Food and Herbal Park is there, that is in operation. Another is in Udham Singh Nagar district, where the Pant Nagar University is situated, that is the Himalayan Mega Food Park. In the Udham Singh Nagar district, there is a Pant Nagar University and also the Udham Singh, headquarter of the Udham Singh Nagar district. So there is a Himalayan Mega Food Park. In the Murshidabad district of West Bengal, this is Jangipur Bengal Mega Food Park, that is in Murshidabad. Rest 17 are in they are being implemented, site is being prepared, but more than 150 are still on the paper. So this is the list of the 20 operational mega food parks which are in operation and creating the facilities, as well as they are generating the employment. So going deeper into the scheme, this scheme aims to facilitate the establishment of a strong food processing industry backed by an efficient supply chain, which includes CCs, means collection centers, PPCs, means primary processing centers, and CPC, central processing centers, and the cold chain infrastructure. Means the mega food park are having the collection centers, primary processing centers, central processing centers, and cold chain infrastructures. Means that is why they are called as the mega food park. And what are our expectations? Expectations of the ministry, of the government, of the people at large is that on an average, each mega food park project will have 25 to 30 food processing units with a collective investment of 250 crores rupees. That will lead to an annual turnover of about 450 to 500 crore and creation of direct and indirect employment of 5,000 persons inside and outside the mega food park. And one important thing, that it may benefit up to the 25,000 farmers. One mega food park, if fully operational, may benefit 25,000 farmers. So moving on to the next slide. What is the pattern of assistance for the mega food park scheme? The pattern of assistance is the 50% for the general areas and the 75% for the difficult areas. And we should note it down that the land, cost of the land is not included in the cost of only the civil work and plant and machinery, and also the establishment of the plant and machinery, that is included. The cost of the land is not included in the project cost for giving any kind of assistance, grant in aid, etc. And it is the 75% in the northeastern states, the 7 northeastern states, including Sikkim, plus difficult areas, that is, we can say the Himalayan areas of Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and some tribal areas which are notified, subjected to a maximum of the rupees 50 crore per project. Means you can go for the 100 crore, but they will give you to the 50 crore. And as the government does, they will give you in the 4 installments of the 30-30-20-20, provided you will simultaneously utilize your money and the money of the bank. Only then the ministry gives you the grant in it. If the first installment of the bank you utilized and whatsoever your share you are utilizing, then only ministry will release the grant to the bank concerned, which is your bank. So, Mega Food Park scheme. Now we will move to the second scheme, which is the integrated cold chain and the value addition infrastructure. So, just we can see the importance of the integrated cold chain and this infrastructure. That like nowadays, we in the northern plains here in Allahabad city of Uttar Pradesh, we are getting tomato at the price of 60 rupees and the onion at the 80-90 rupees. So to overcome all these, this another scheme is the integrated cold chain. And one more thing I would like to add for the people of Kashmir, I am getting 120 rupees per kilogram of the apple. Why 120? Because lecture ले रहे बता दे lecture ले रहे So the integrated cold chain and the value addition infrastructure. So it covers creation of infrastructure facility along with the entire supply chain. That is the pre-cooling, weighing, sorting, grading, waxing at the farm level, and the all kind of storage, CA, IQF, freezing, all these, and the distribution of the horticultural, organic, meat, dairy, and poultry, which are perishable in nature, which are perishable in nature. So this integrated cold chain and value addition infrastructure scheme is for the creation of infrastructure for the supply chain, basically the cold chain, so that our cold chain may start from the producer's level, from the farmer level. Let us see the components, different components. The components means in which area we are eligible for the grant. First, if we establish the minimal processing center at the farm level, then mobile pre-cooling van and the reefer trucks means we can take only one component, like the minimal processing center at the farm level. I mean, our farmer brothers may take. Any entrepreneur may go for the mobile pre-cooling van and the reefer trucks that we want from the state of Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh, that we can get good quality apples. And then the distribution hubs, followed by the irradiation facility, which we use generally in the case of the onions. Then the pattern of the release of grant is also 4, but it starts with 35, 40, 15, 10. I'd like to clear that is the percentage again from the grant. Suppose the ministry is giving the 50%, 50% amounts to 10 crore. Then from the 10 crore, this is 35%, 40%, 15%, and the 10%. Okay. But I mean, it has a typical type of pattern of assistance. So we will just see. It is limited to amount of the 10 crores, and for storage infrastructures, including pack house and pre-cooling units, 35% for the general areas and 50% for the difficult areas. The difficult areas the ministry defines with the northeastern states, Himalayan states, ITDP areas, and the islands like Lakshadweep and Andaman Nicobar. And for value addition and the processing infrastructure, they give more. For value addition and processing infrastructure, you 55% for the general areas and the 75% for the difficult areas. And for irradiation facilities, it also has more, that is the 50% and 75%. 50% for the general areas and the 75% for the difficult areas. And the grant in aid is released first 25. I mean, first you will get 1/4 of the grant, then 40, and in the last 35. So pattern is little different. At some scheme it is 4, it is 3, and at some we will see further it's at 2. So we end this for integrated cold chain. Then we move to creation expansion of the food processing preservation capacities. This is a unit scheme, not a cluster base. This is a unit scheme. So the objective of this scheme is the creation of the preservation and the processing facilities, basically at the farm level. Hello, sir. Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
So
It's
the
going on.
eligible project component. Sir. Okay. Eligible project components for the grant: cost of plant and machinery and technical civil work, and this has an additional facilities. That is why I want to tell my friends. That is the cost of utilities for generators, boilers, water pipelines, waste treatment plants, ETP, etc. They are also considered. Means the utility for the, steam, utility for the water, utility for the waste treatment, they all are considered in this particular scheme, which we can say as the creation expansion of the food processing preservation capacities scheme of the Ministry of the Food Processing Industries. So this has little more facilities. They are not giving for the land, but they are giving for the other kind of utilities. This is they are giving only in this scheme only. But the utility should be up to the 25% of the total project cost. Means your utilities of the water, steam, energy, etc. Should be limited. Your cost, they will give you up to only 25%, and in this they have also given more facilities, that their grant will be released in the 2 installments of the 50% each. Then I am moving to the next slide. That is the pattern of assistance. The pattern of assistance for the grant, that is the 35% in the general areas and the 55% in the difficult areas, subjected to maximum of 5 crore per project. Another scheme is the cluster for the agro processing cluster scheme. This is also a scheme of the Ministry of the Food Processing. The objective of this scheme is the development of the modern infrastructure followed by the common facilities to encourage group of entrepreneurs. As we are saying, cluster approach. Cluster approach means there is a group of entrepreneurs who will set up the food processing units based on the cluster approach. There is suppose raw material is some particular kind of raw material is available in plenty, so we may go for the cluster approach. The scheme is again like a previous scheme, that is giving to 35% for the general areas and 50% to the difficult areas, and the grant released in 4 installments of the 35, 40, 15 and 10%. They have also the components. They give money for the basic infrastructure like the development of the industrial plots, boundary walls, road, drainage, and utilities like water, electricity, generators, effluent treatment plants. So in the previous scheme and this scheme, eh, when you are getting facility for the utilities also, and in this scheme, you are getting little in further little infrastructure also, because the infrastructure will be created for the agro processing cluster. And in the core infrastructure, the core infrastructure includes food testing laboratory plus all the facilities like cleaning, grading, sorting, packing. And for the steam generation boilers, dry warehouse, cold storage, pre-cooling, ripening chambers, individual creek freezing, any kind of specialized packaging, or any other common processing facilities. Even for the sheds, they provide the assistance. The it is like previous, that is 35 and 50 for the general and difficult areas, and it is the credit linked. They've directly given any time to banks. Another scheme which we need more, that is the creation of the backward and forward linkage. This is the backward and forward linkages. So backward linkages means the setting of the primary processing centers at farm and the modern retail outlets at the front, along with the connectivity through the refrigerated and the similar kind of insulated transport. This is the scheme for the creation of backward and forward linkages. Backward means at the farm and forward means in the town, in the cities, or you can say at the farm gate also, or any convenient place. But this too much detail there in this backward linkages and forward linkages. In the backward linkages, integrated pack house with the mechanized sorting, grading, packaging, waxing line, and this cold rooms and cold storage, milk chilling centers, bulk milling coolers, pre-cooling unit chillers, reefer boats, machinery and equipments for minimal processing and value addition like cutting, slicing, chopping, dicing, drying, pulping, canning, which we do at the primary stage, that is there, and the machinery and equipment for the packaging. This comes in the backward linkage. Backward linkage where we will do primary processing, and the different components are there. For all these components, the entrepreneurs may get the grant for integrated pack house or pre-cooling units or milk chilling units or reefer boats or in machinery and equipment for minimal processing such as cutting, dicing, or machinery and equipment for packaging. And for the forward linkage, the forward linkage will include the retail chain of outlet, frozen storage, deep freezer, refrigerated display cabinet. These everything will be provided in the forward linkages. And the distribution centers associated with the retail chain, they will be given facilities for the cold room, cold storage, ripening chambers, etc. And for the transport, the refrigerated, insulated or reefer vans, both for the forward and backward linkages. And the grant in aid will be given in the 3 installments because it is a time-taking process for the backward and forward linkages. So the grant in aid is given in the 3 installment of the 25, 40 and 35%. So we are moving to the next slide. So that's the same as before, but the maximum limit is the 5 crore rupees for the creation of backward and the forward linkages. Then we are moving to, there are new scheme, but it is being implemented now. In the year 2018, this scheme was launched, and also This was announced in the Union Budget in the 2018 that initially it was a scheme for the tomato, onion, and potato, but now it's open for almost, not all, but almost all the fruit and vegetables, because was not getting proper response from the producers and when processors of tomato, onion, and potato. So the government has opened for other fruits and vegetables which were demanding for the similar kind of package. This is the Operation Green. Operation Green was basically came into force, was being thought for the price stabilization. It came as the price stabilization measure, both for the short term and for the long term. But it is still in the initial stage. For price stabilization measures, the 50% cost of the transportation and the 50% cost of hiring appropriate storage. Means 50% cost of transportation. Naturally, the transportation will be in the insulated trucks or refrigerated trucks, and the 50% cost in the hiring of appropriate warehouse, but they give only for 4 to 6 months. I mean, they will not give you money for the whole year, because the price stabilization is a shorter scheme. So they give you for 4 or 6 months, 4 to 6 months. And for the integrated value chain project, which is a long-term price stabilization measure, that is project is entitled for 50%, and where the implementing agencies are FPOs, the grant will be the 70%. There is no scheme for the general areas or difficult areas. In the Operation Greens, more emphasis is given for the involvement of the FPOs, that are the farmer producers organizations, and the government is aiming up to opening up almost 10,000 farmer producer organizations in the whole country. So if FPO comes, then they will give up to 70% of the project cost in all areas, subject to maximum of the 50 crore per project. In the FPOs, either FPOs come or a group of FPOs. Generally, group of FPOs go for these kind of work, and they are going. So there is two price stabilization measures in low. The one is the for short term, and another is for the long term. For short term, they give rent for the 4 to 6 months, and for integrated value chain, you can establish a value chain. If an entrepreneur and an industrialist goes, he will get 50%, and for the FPOs or group of FPOs, it is up to 70%. Moving on to the next slide. This is the new scheme of the PM formalization of the micro food processing enterprises scheme. This scheme is just announced 2 months back, perhaps in August. It was announced. It is now coming. Nodal agencies have been appointed in each and every state. So but we will go for it. What is the PM formalization of micro food processing enterprises scheme? This, as the name indicates, it is the formalization. The formalization means those who are working in the unorganized sector, or those who are simply doing some work, like somebody is making paneer, somebody is making cookies, biscuits, somebody is making bread. They will be assisted to go in a formal way, means formal way of registration with the FSSAI, GST, Udyog Aadhaar, and registration with the other departments. the people who are working in an informal way will be trained to get involved in the formal way by the helping in the form of the PMFME scheme, Prime Minister Formalization of the Micro Food Processing Enterprises scheme. So let us see the objectives. The support for capital investment for upgradation and formalization with the registration for GST, FSSAI standards and the Udyog Aadhar. And after doing this, they will go for the capacity building through skill training, imparting training knowledge on food safety and standards, and hygiene and quality improvement. And they are they will be given the hand-holding support for the preparation of detailed project report, availing bank loans, and their upgradation of their units, their enterprise. And the farmer, again, this is the involvement of the farmer producer organization or self-help group. So a support system will be created for the FPOs, SHG, cooperatives for this. So this is the formalization of the scheme for informal to formal. Next slide. The aims, objectives. The aims of this scheme to enhance the competitiveness of the existing individual micro enterprises in the unorganized segment of the food processing industry and promote formalization of the sector. Means we want to get our food processing sector formalized so that we may get the data. How many units in this particular area or in division, district, country, capacity there, and what is the market there, and what is the potential there. They can increase their capacity. And the support to the FPOs, SHG, and other cooperatives in which the farmers are involved. Next slide. The outlay. The outlay has been given for the 10,000 crores for the 5 years from 2020-21 to 24-25. The outlay of the 10,000 crores, this has been given over a period of 5 years up to 2025. The expenditure will be shared in the ratio of the 60-40 between the central and the states. States mean the states who are the full states, and the union territory who are having the legislature, like the Delhi and Pondicherry. The Delhi and Pondicherry will also get in the 60-40 ratio, but I mean the 90-10 ratio will be given to the difficult areas, and also for the 90-10 ratio is for the UTs, and the 60-40 ratio is the UTs with the legislature and 100% by the center for the other UTs. Let me clarify again. 60-40 ratios for the states who are having the Vidhan Sabha or the legislature made with the union territory like Delhi and Pondicherry, made with state like Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and the Karnataka and the Kerala. 90-10, 90 will be borne by the center and the 10 will be borne by the states in the PMFME scheme. That is for the difficult areas, and 100% by the other union territories like Lakshadweep, like Daman and Diu, Dadra and Nagar Haveli. So this scheme has a special emphasis on the union territories and difficult areas. The center will bear almost all the cost, and the 60-50 ratios for the states who have been given the representation as the Vidhan Sabha. And the coverage may be up to 2,000 2 lakh micro food processing units that will be directly assisted with the credit linked subsidy. Credit linked subsidy will directly go to the bank. The bank will give only when you will get the subsidy. So here the scheme for the Ministry of Food Processing Industries ends, and let me tell you that the detail and the implementing agency have not yet been decided. Whether the implementing agency of the PM FME will be the NABARD or NCDC or CDB, it is still not clear. The government is envisaging on that. They may give to the one agency or other agency for implementing this, but till now this work has been done, and in every state, and the nodal officers and the nodal offices, either the directorate office or the secretary's office, they have been identified and they have been given the task, but the implementing agency, like because a financial institution implements all this, so that has not been decided yet. It will be decided soon. So right now we cannot apply in this scheme, but before that, till Operation Greens, the schemes, they are in the fully operation and the people are applying in that. So now we will move to the popular scheme of the Ministry of MSME, which we can say PMEGP scheme of the KVIC, Khadi and Village Industries Commission. This scheme is implemented by the Khadi and Village Industries Commission, and in the state levels they have a state Khadi and Village Industries Board, and at the district level they have the district industries centers. So KVIC routes the government subsidy through designated banks, and they disburse directly into their bank accounts. So the maximum cost of the project. Maximum cost of the project in the PMEGP scheme is the 25 lakhs for any kind of the manufacturing sector, and rupees 10 lakh for the service sector and any kind of business sector. Means you can take it for any kind of business or any service provider can take, but if we go for the manufacturing, for the food, any kind of food processing, then we can take up to the 25 lakhs. And for the general category, it's 15% in the urban areas, 25% in the rural areas, and for the special category, is 25% in the urban areas and the 35% in the rural areas. And let me tell don't see like the feed processing ministry, the general areas and the difficult areas. In this, they have decided the persons of the general category, means those who are not in the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, other backward classes, minorities, women, ex-servicemen, physically handicapped, and the persons of the northeastern regions in the hilly and border areas. Other than these will be treated as the general category, and they will be given a grant of the 15% in the urban areas and 25% in the rural areas. And the people of the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, OBC, minority communities, and the persons of the border areas, they will get 25% in the urban areas and the 35% in the rural areas. So and in this scheme, the balance amount is given to the bank. So you don't have to return to the bank. Means suppose you are getting some money from the bank. So the surplus money or the money which you have not utilized or any kind of delay in there, they will be directly given. Generally, that is directly given to the bank, and that helps you in the giving up your loan. The eligibility criteria is rather interesting. Any individual above 18 years of age, at least 8 standard for the project consisting about 10 lakhs in the manufacturing sectors and 5 lakhs in the service sectors. And the only new projects are considered for the sanctions under PMEGP. Means here the new projects are being considered, and in the PMFME scheme, the existing projects are being considered. It means the PMEGP is the PMFME scheme of the Ministry of Food Processing Industries and PMEGP scheme of the Ministry of SME, the MSME, they are complementary to each other. So in this, the KVIC invites self-help groups, including those belonging to the VPL. They are also the societies which are registered under the Society Registration Act, any kind of charitable trust, cooperative society, they all are eligible. Means so many sections of the society are eligible, provided they have not availed any kind of the grant. And the application process of the KYC is that they have to give application only in their district. Means you can see on their slide, the state divisional directors of the KYC, in consultation with the KIB and Director of Industries in the respective states, will give advertisement locally through print and electronic media, inviting applications along with the project proposals from prospective beneficiaries desirous of establishing the enterprise starting up service units under PMEGPE. So this is directly available on the KVIC online. And I would like to say that there is a form. Always there is a form, but in the form there is a scorecard is also attached, and one can go update their scorecard, or one can prepare himself for according to that scorecard. This scorecard, like somebody is graduate, they will get a 5 out of 5. If it is not graduate, then he may get 2. Just I am showing that. I am showing that scorecard. Let's go out. Just I want to show the scorecard. Where is scorecard? Yes, sir. Let me show the scorecard. Just now it has been implemented with the scorecard few months back. We find it rather interesting, the scorecard. See, the scorecard is there. Credit scoring criteria for the PMEGP. The personal details, for the personal details, maximum marks is 6. If the person has age of the 25 to 40, it may 6, 18 to 24, it's 5, 41 to 49, it's 3, and 50 and above 2 for the age. The number of dependents, maximum marks is 2. Up to 3, then will be 2, and if the number of dependents are more than 3, then he will get 0 marks. Owning a house or parental house, if you have, then you will get 5 marks, or you will get the 2 marks. If you are residing at the same address from 5 years and above, you may get 5 out of 5. Otherwise, you may get 3. And if you have came last year or last year, then you will get only 2 marks. For the academic qualification, it is 4 marks. If the graduate and above, it's 4 marks. For intermediate, it's 3. Matric, it's 2, and below matric, it's 1. Experience, if you have more than 3-year experience, it's 8 out of 8 marks. It is 1 to 3 year, it's 6. It's less than 1 year, it's 3. And you have, if any fresher is there, then he will get no marks. Any other source of the income is there, if they are getting from farm or any other unit is there. If yes, it's 5. If they don't have, it's 0. If they have been assessed for income tax in the previous years, then they will get 2 out of 2. Otherwise, it's 0. If they are having a life insurance policy, they will get 1, and otherwise, they will get 1 for all scheme, PM JGBY, PMSBY, or any other policy. They will get 1 mark for every policy. Otherwise, they will not get. So that they will get in the 40 marks. And then for the new ventures, that was for the individual. See, previously this was for the personal details, and this is for the firm. For the new venture, relationship with the leading bank, they have account or any kind of relationship. If it is above 3 years, they will get out of 5. Credit history, on the basis of credit history, they will be ranked 3 to 5. Location advantage, with what we see, the availability of raw material, labor, and the infrastructure, they may get 3 to 5 marks. Skill certification course or computer knowledge, if the firm is having, then it is 2 to, if no, it's 2, it's 5. Marketing tie-ups, if they have the 5, if they don't have 2. If they are in the same line of activity, like in the manufacture, they were manufacturing in the different things, now they are manufacturing a different product, then they may get 5. And if they are other activity, they will get 3. If they are registered with the government authorities for sale tax and any kind of license from the Nagar Nigam, Nagar Mahapalika, or they have any kind of shop, if it is there, they will get 5 marks. Otherwise, they will get 3 marks. Repayment period, if it is for 5 years, it's 5. If above 5 years, it will be 3. And also there are marks for the employment generation. It is the old process. There are marks for the employment generation at every point. This is, if there are above 5 people, then they will get 4 marks. If 3 to 5 people, they will get 3 marks, and otherwise they will get 2 marks. The average DSCR, debt service coverage ratio, it's, if by calculating it's more than 2, then they may get 5 marks. It is less than 1.5, they will get 2. Otherwise, they will get 3. So out of 50, they will get the marks. For the security, collateral securities, if it is there, they will get 10. It is between 50 and 100, then it is 8. Otherwise, it's 10. So the mark, there will be 10 marks. So 50, 40, 50, and 10. See, sir, the 50, 40, 50, and 10. This is 100. So generally, they consider the short list for those applicants who generally get a score of 60 and above. So it is the responsibility of us who are guiding the entrepreneurs, that they may get more than 60 marks, maybe 70, 75, 80. Then they will be generally considered. And one more advantage I would like to tell, that when you get loan from the KVIC, whether it is the 25 lakh or whether it is the 50,000, you will get the brand name of the Khadi India. This is the major advantage of this scheme, of the PM-EGP scheme, that if you get a loan, whether 1 lakh, 2 lakh rupees, nothing matters, you will get the brand of the Khadi India, and your product can be sold by any of the Khadi outlet, Khadi Bhandars, Khadi stores across the country. I think the time is over, so our PowerPoint presentation is also over. So,
if there are any queries and questions, please you may ask. Sir is here.
Video.
Are there any questions regarding the presentation? Please ask. Any queries, please ask.
any kind of clarification regarding these schemes, because this was a presentation of very limited time and there were many schemes. I mean, there were 8 schemes, 8 important schemes. The schemes are other also. So, any of my friend from the different regions of India may ask for any kind of supplementary material, because in the PowerPoint presentation these cannot be included, but these all are included in the text. And name and addresses of the mega food parks promoters, their phone numbers of their CEOs, their emails, contact numbers, and the contact numbers of all nodal officers of all the schemes, all the nodal officers of the PMGEG schemes. They are in the text.
Any queries?
Any of my friend who want to clarify any scheme? And but I would like to tell you that, is there any special?
There is one
There is a
question in
question.
chat.
Yes,
chat.
sir, chat in the chat. There is a question in the chat. Just I saw, but I couldn't see. Sir, is there any special package for Apple-based industry in J&K? Sir, there is a special package because you come in the difficult areas. For any kind of difficult areas, it is not less than 50%. You will always get more than 50%. And I think the integrated cold chain, you may go for the integrated cold chain scheme. That is, I mean, I have shown in the second, at the second slide for the integrated cold chain. So, sir, so for any scheme, the persons of J&K, they may apply in any scheme because they come from the difficult areas. And I personally feel the cold chain is very necessary, because for the apples, it's very necessary. Apple trucks start coming to Delhi without any kind of cold chain. And from Delhi, it is distributed to the other northern plains. So if you go for any reefer trucks or any kind of cold storage facilities there, then we may get it. Sir.
Any other question? Ladakh region. That's also a tough area.
Sir, Ladakh. Actually, what is the? I mean, the right now all the scheme of the Jammu and Kashmir is automatically being implemented to the Ladakh region, because that is also considered in the difficult areas. In the difficult areas, the Himalayan areas, plus northeastern states including Sikkim and some tribal areas which are notified, and the union territories like Andaman and Nicobar, like islands, you can say, not union territories, that are Lakshadweep and this Andaman and Nicobar island. They are in the difficult areas. Always they are getting 75% of the total project cost, which generally includes cost of the land. Only we get the land development grant in the agro cluster scheme. So,
sir, on a different note, I want to ask myself, because from technology perspective, like in saffron, we have a quality issue. At times, people do not know if it is a quality saffron or not. As a software developer, I had an idea. Let's say, okay, we will build an application with the machine learning. With clicking a picture from mobile phone, I can tell you if it is authentic Kashmiri saffron. Or like, for example, you have sugar machines which detect the chemical composition via light or some other sensor, and it can ultimately tell you whether the saffron is 100% pure or not. So is there any scheme for such a process of where we can build hardware as well as software for this issue?
Very good question you have said, and I am really happy that somebody asked this question, because the topic I was given was regarding the quality, the scheme, but there is a component of the quality control from the Ministry of Food Processing Industries, in that you can set up the quality control lab in the general areas and the difficult areas.
Sir, my point was not to set up a lab. My point was, I'm a software company, for example. I would want to develop a product as a software or a hardware product, which can, as a customer, at the customer level, if the customer, like some visitor comes to J&K and he's being shown something on the shop, and he thinks like, let's say, okay, is this product valid, or is this person saying it's 100 pure percent honey? Is this honey pure? Or if it is 100% saffron, or any other product, for example, there are algorithms which we can use for detecting the purity and the chemical composition.
Sir, the ICR and CSR institutions have developed some kind of sensors, but basically our industry, we should go for the labs. They can detect between the this quality saffrons and the other I mean, any kind of adulteration is there, that will be detected in the adulteration purposes. And there is a scheme for the Ministry of Food Processing Industries for this. I am just sending, I mean, I have the mail. Kindly share my mail in the chat box to my friends, so that the two components I have not covered, and one of my friend has also asked in the chat box. Please open the chat box. That any scheme for the teachers. Yes, there is an R&D scheme for the teachers from the Ministry of Food Processing Industries. So they have the R&D. So if you have time, or if you can give me a little time in the lunch time for 10-15 minutes, then I can share these both things. I am really sorry for not sharing this, because this was limited to the, I mean, establishing the food processing industries. But the relevant questions came from the, I mean, checking the adulteration and setting up of the, not setting up the, by the sending the project to the funding from the universities and colleges. That is also given by the Ministry of Food Processing Industries. That is a separate component, and they, with the help of the ICR, they give the money and to the educational institutions, and they give the educational institutions for the laboratories and other things also. Laboratories and
so there is a public-private partnership can be achieved here.
Yes, sir. From the Ministry of Food Processing Industry, the public-private partnership can be achieved very easily. And in the website also, it is given the phone numbers and contact numbers are also there.
Thank you, sir. Any other query, please ask.
Sir, I mean, would like to say to my dear friends, please email me, or you can WhatsApp me. The two things are being left. If any time today you can give a little half an hour or any kind, I may show that those two schemes for, I mean, for project R&D projects, as also for the setting of the laboratories. The laboratories have been set up by the different universities and colleges also, and the ministry has given 100% grant to the universities and colleges also. So your university, one university in the Kashmir, is perhaps they have also got the, I mean, or they are in the process of getting this kind of labs. Universities and colleges get, I mean, the 100% assistance for these kind of laboratories.
Okay, thank you, sir. On behalf of the participants and on behalf of the organizers, NADCL, and all the organizers, I would like to thank you. It was such a wonderful presentation and interactive session. Thank you very much for being with us. I'll talk to the organizers if an half an hour of session can be organized. Thank you on behalf of the participants.
Any time up to 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, I have no problem, sir.
Sure, thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
But I am saying sorry for that, to the poor connectivity in the beginning.
Yes, sir. No problem.
All my friends there. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being with us.
Okay, thank you, sir.